she slept with people to get the appointment. They denigrated her. And when they won power, she declared them winner in that election. Even upon that, when they came, within the shortest, I think in their first quarter, they triggered a petition against her. Nanado didn't waste time, forwarded it, conveyor belt. The CJ, Chief Justice then, triggered, set up a committee. That's how they got the woman out. If they had come out with a prima facie case against this three, the narration would have been different. This
I told you, my position was clear that they were going to let them go, and I'm telling you that what they have done now is a distraction.
Okay. So, Madam,
it's not honestly.
My brother Richard is saying that huge people should have been sacked. But I've also even heard many NPP people said that they should be sacked. The woman should be sacked. I've heard that.
No, we said you just like you did. You are not following the argument. That just like you set out, President Mahama himself by his own hands removed the Chief Justice. This was going to be a naturally fulfilling prophecy that you go and remove them too.
No.
So because
there was a prima facie case against Madam Kofono. For these people, we haven't been able to establish. The Chief Justice have not been able to establish any case against them. So we cannot remove them. We will not do it the kangaroo way. No, we are not.
Abusian for mo bibia akwaba na yem for Amra Mega TV and platform we eso. Said ye Richard Ahiagba. NPP Director of Communications, right? Yes. Na oni NDC communicator 1 MP ekwesiaye na unim de wa NPP Richard Ahiagba osi behaving. He's one of the non-serious communications personnel money wo MPP mo. Now this time around the MPP are getting it wrong. Mobeka yendro news beto honom. News na beto honom no about petition ekoto John Dramani Mahama animo pia de ma Chief Justice ni na efa maami electoral commissioner tokono the remover any the 2 deputies Bosma Yawasari any Samotete and other one special prosecutor ono so yenyin mfiri ho but empanyfo tenase edi omo nan share desk ase etoto niema na chese omo chiremu a omo na omo kan wanyame na meka omo chiremu a the petition no it doesn't hold water and sheda enni ade papa bia wo menti no omo gina so na omo yi maame na na se ni 2 deputies no ana se seja bi enye yi enti omo nyo modwuma abusia san se ngwe ba de MPP for akon anu otum wo ho na campaign nka eba no in the otherwise nka press conference bebre but the nay omo anu ba Richard Ahiagba de instead of say obe president Mahama no he's rather insisting say they want to divert conversation from cocoa issue and cocoa price reduction no say be yan cocoa kwafo ye befi na nkomo mu ye die wie ba minim de Richard Ahiagba ye no yanko no yanko ti sa nkomo ni bi yakoba list wo na nakusi poku pa controversial man ono so wakasa ni na sansemi ehu na ono so de ose ono de mami get to konu na abaseki wadi se sorry mfanchemi anye electoral commissioner no mfanchemi ono awe Jemensa mfanchemi osi Jemensa de se bebu se benyado enkeni kwankra da se nkotra electoral commission ho ase chair because Jumadi odi ye from 2020 eba bisi 2024 no enka wonsem fata beni na munu se sei ana president na ka omusom because ono ena ye panyina yi na edi nachi ewukurum ha but prosperity will judge all of us all yentie yeni kanche Richard Ahiagba on Metro TV on NDC communicator how NDC communicator to no boasi kwia ne tumba with facts yentie koba yebeti list also there.
An employee of the EC, Joseph Langsing Dumate, had petitioned the president to remove the EC chair and her 2 deputies. So that's it. Richard, what do you make of this? Exciting news, or it's much ado about nothing?
Yeah.
Why?
What's the point?
No big deal.
No. Okay. Not really. Let's just talk about cocoa sector and forget about
Were you, no, we'll talk about it, that's our next topic, but were you were initially a little apprehensive when you heard that the petitions had been forwarded to the president for the removal of these persons, especially that of the Electoral Commission, on the back of what had happened with the Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice. And so some of your communicators, when they came on this platform, were saying that, well, you know, it's agenda setting, the government wants the EC chair out and the deputies because they don't trust them, etc., etc. In fact, some of them had even given up. For them, they thought they were gone. It turns out that the opposite has happened. And you're saying that no big deal?
No. I'm one of those people who said that when I saw the petition about the EC chairs, I said the EC chairs, they are goners. They are gone. They are going to be gone.
Yes, you had lost hope.
I said that, yeah. Not that I lost hope. I just know that that's what they are shepherding the process to end as. And so for me, I looked at it as you know, a self-fulfilling prophecy. The petitions are just the vehicles that have come orchestrated by NDC elements to achieve a certain objective. And so for me, I didn't think they were going to end this way. But the point why I was telling you is much ado about nothing, what they have arrived at, is that there was no reason for this whole thing to begin with. Okay? These are orchestrated efforts. Just like the Chief Justice's own orchestration to be removed from office happened, that's the same thing they were going to do. But you see, the saving grace for the EC people, the OSP, as for the OSP, my understanding is that his process is not even conclusive. There are other petitions that are lurking in the woodworks. As for the EC people, I think it appears conclusive that they're not going to be gone. In fact, the saving grace for them is this albatross that the NDC is going to grab and put around its neck by being the first party in power that is shortchange cocoa farmers in a very drastic way. You see, so they brought this thing here as a dead cat to, you know, divert attention from that matter, to make it as if, oh, look at them, oh, they are good. They are not.
Right.
They were going to remove them. The only way they can equalize the scale is to bring back Chief Justice Getty Tokonu, who had done nothing, but yet they orchestrated and engineered her removal. There is no cause for that to happen.
Right.
Okay? Especially, Moro, if you are committed to building strong institutions, you don't intervene in the manner President Mahama did to remove Chief Justice. That is President Mahama's low moment in his government. That's a low moment in his personal legacy. That to be the president that removed a Chief Justice so violently.
Right. Okay?
All the while citing constitutional this, constitutional that. There was nothing constitutional about what they did. And when they asked, so, well, what part of Article 146 has been breached? Everything was breached. And that process is a sham. If this thing with the EC is to mean anything, they must restore the initial error they commit. That sin against the people of this country, against the growth and future of our institutions, they must reverse it. So for me, this is, for me, some effort to divert attention from this whole debacle of having to shortchange cocoa farmers when you have promised them expressly that this is the price I'll give you. Okay, look, maybe we'll come to the cocoa thing, but I was going to give you an example. Actually, But you see, this thing, so because you don't have time, this EC matter is much ado about nothing. The NDC set out to remove all of them, but then they got to a point they realized that they're losing. They lost whatever goodwill they think they have. They lost it. If the NDC is thinking they still have any goodwill out there, they have lost it. Because the way they are approached this matters, particularly this cocoa farmers thing, they have lost it. Okay, so they better begin to do right. Otherwise, whatever they are setting up, it will collapse on their heads. Okay, so this whole EC thing is a sham. They are trying to use it to correct whatever errors they have committed along the line as they have come. Just a year, all these things have happened. So for me, it's much ado about nothing. Let's go to the more substantive to do with the future of our cocoa sector.
Sedu, you heard Richard. He thinks that he says two things. One, this story about the CJ rejecting petitions for EC bosses removal and that of the special prosecutor. He raises two issues. He says one is a deflective strategy, you know, from what's happening with the cocoa sector, and also number two, he thinks it's much ado about nothing, and that he believes that the government really intends to kick the EC and the deputies out at some point, and the special prosecutor, but perhaps it's just the timing. How do you respond to these two?
Well, Moro, let me say good morning to my brother and say good morning to your distinguished viewers and the good people of Jirapa. Moro, we are in democracy, and for me, we have to at any time hold the tenets of democracy. Democracy has its ingredients. We have chosen it, and we will live with it. We will live with it, and we will die in it. So when we go on this tangent, you know, my brother just ended by saying that we should bring Tokono back. So if I ask my brother that then we should bring Charlotte Osei back, I think I'm fair to ask him this question. You understand? The NPP, they did something that nobody thought any party would have done when they got power in 2017. They didn't waste time, but they made it clear when Charlotte Osei was appointed. They made it very clear, explicit, that they were going to remove her. They even said that she slept with people to get the appointment. They denigrated her, and when they won power, she declared them winner in that election. Even upon that, when they came, within the shortest, I think in their first quarter, they triggered a petition against her. Nanado didn't waste time, forwarded it, conveyor belt. The CJ, Chief Justice then, you know, triggered, set up a committee. That's how they got the woman out, within the shortest possible time. You see, so when our brothers, you know, I don't know. One thing about my brother's party is that, you see, they always think they are the only people who feel pains when you pin them. You understand? They like to pinch, but they think that when they pinch, you don't have pain. There is no blood, so don't sort of feel it. You don't have to feel it. You understand? You people started this thing. We came. The Chief Justice, a petition was against her. The same process, the same Article 1469 was invoked, and there was prima facie case, and he was removed. So this issue of bringing him back, now the Chief Justice, the current Chief Justice that you people bastardized so much, is the one that is actually now even deepening our democracy. Our court, now people have confidence to go to the court. If it was those days, even Pandai, if it was those days, if NPP were to be in power, and NDC candidate was Nyendam would have lost. I am telling you today, we knew how cases were, were judged in the then Supreme Court headed by Madam Tokono. We knew. Do you understand? That's a unanimous all the time. Unanimous all the time. Unanimous. That's what was happening. Now there's confidence in the CJ and his people, his team today. There's confidence. That is why Pandai, NDC is in power. We have a CJ that we appointed, and yet we lost Pandai under circumstances that many people thought are why we have a new CJ. You see that even when that happened, the NPP themselves, they now have some confidence in the Supreme Court. They themselves, because they were shocked. They were going to court, they thought probably the court was going to behave like previously. The court said no, Pandai was genuinely won by the NPP. Let it go. And we are okay with that. You understand? So, Moro, as for the current electoral commissioner and the two deputies, in fact, let me be very blunt with our viewers. Our party grassroots are not happy that they are not being removed. But we have leaders. Our leaders, they know what they are doing. But for our grassroots, they are not happy. But there's a lot of untoward things that me, myself, I can tell that this is what Jimmy Ansah did. I can tell, even Bossman, there are stories. You hear Bossman can openly say that the NDC is a threat to Ghana's democracy. His electoral commissioner can voice out this. How? It means you are partisan. It means you are partisan. There are many instances, but you see, President Mahama is not that vindictive. You know, he loves Ghana. He wants us to build a democracy that everybody can feel comfortable. You know, so I am not surprised that the electoral commissioner and her deputies are not being removed. Okay. Even you heard him when our chief whip talked about closing of the special prosecutor's office. You heard comments from the presidency. You understand? To mean that no, he said no. Do you understand? It tells you that we are in to build our democracy. We want to entrench our democratic credentials. So we will not come to power and behave like the previous administration. Okay. And I know that the NPP, sometimes they'll feel bad about the manner in which Nana Addo governed this country by first removing Madam Charlotte Osei from office, just within the shortest possible time that he came to office. Okay. You understand? It's this democracy. Democracy has won. Ghana has won. Right. It tells our people that it doesn't matter which party that you support. Let me tell you, Moro, if you are losing elections, your wife can be the electoral commissioner, but you lose. I am telling you, if you are losing elections, your wife can be the electoral commissioner, you lose. You understand? But I just want us to be fair. I want the NPP to realize that they were not fair to Madam Charlotte Osei by removing that lady based on whatever petition that they made those drivers to write. We're not fair to the woman. So they are not the ones that will say that the NDC is not fair or is not fair to Madam Tokono. No. In any case, if we are to do the equalization politics, they started it. Okay.
I guess that would have to move on. And Richard and Sedu, I want us to look at this other story.
Yeah,
now,
let's move on.
Today's Daily Guide, again, still the Daily Guide.
He just committed himself and his party to a lot of matters if we want to explore.
Okay.
We need
some more time.
You can.
We need some more time.
Because he says that his party is not happy. Yes. His grassroots party is not happy.
Yes, he said they've been baying for the blood of the EC chair and the deputies.
And then he also made it that President Mahama loved Ghana, which means that, but for that, his party, they want these things to be done. Confirming the position that indeed this is a political agenda.
It's not
move people.
I said my party grassroots. The grassroots is not the leadership of the party.
No, but you see, and in addition to that, Moro, he says that the EC cannot really affect elections for you. So what's the inconsistency, is making my head ache. Because what he says is that if you are losing the election, you are going into election, even your wife is the EC, she can, tilt the election for you. So exactly what is your claim?
Maybe some advice is given to the party for
all parties.
No, it's a factual statement he's made. Because even Sedu Ketia made that comment about our electoral system has been robust, and therefore nobody can tilt it one way or the other. So what exactly is his claim now? That his party grassroots want the EC gone, but somehow the EC cannot, play in anybody's favor. So the point is confirmed that really there's no reason going after them. That's it.
So we should remove them. We should remove them. Answer. We should remove them.
Well, that's your agenda. I cannot advise you on what you
want. We haven't removed them. They have not been removed.
When we say you should
it's not of you to applaud. It's not of you to applaud the president.
You, like how?
It's not of you to applaud the president.
We told you.
So talk to the cabinet.
We told you not to remove chief.
Me, I can send it. Watch. I'm sending the petition again.
Free.
Yeah.
You'll send a petition.
Yeah, I'll send a petition.
No problem. I mean,
if not me, I know some people will send petitions again.
Tomorrow, they can.
Based on what Richard is saying on this platform, Richard should be applauding President Mahama and the CJ.
No, it's not up to President Mahama to determine anything with respect to the EC.
So you should commend the Chief Justice.
What difference?
Well, commend him for what? For doing his job.
Yeah, for yes.
Say,
If somebody does his job well, wouldn't you tap the person on his back?
No.
They did well.
No.
I'm sure if they had come out with a prima facie case against this three, the narration would have been different this morning.
I told you, my position was clear that they were going to let them go, and I'm telling you that what they have done now is a distraction. You understand?
Okay. So, Madam
it's not honestly.
Jinessa, my brother Richard is saying that huge people should have been sacked. But I've also even heard many NPP people said that they should be sacked. The woman should be sacked. I've heard that.
No, we said just like you did. You are not following the argument. That just like you set out, President Mahama himself by his own hands removed the Chief Justice. This was going to be a naturally fulfilling prophecy that you go and remove them too.
No.
So because
there was a prima facie case. There was a prima facie case against Madam Tokono. For these people, we haven't been able to establish. The Chief Justice have not been able to establish any case against them. So we cannot remove them. We will not do it the kangaroo way. No, we are not.
After you have done the Chief Justice one the kangaroo way.
The Madam Charlotte Osei one.
Chief Justice one.
Madam Charlotte Osei one. How did you do it?
You see, I have a difficulty anytime we're having a conversation forward and you're going back.
How?
Assuming
how? There's always been history.
Now, assuming I've been
we
on
have
this
to.
platform.
That's why there's history.
No. Oh, I've been on this platform and I've made the point that, given the choice, that Charlotte Osei thing, with all the deficit and the challenges that went with it, because we want to build a strong institution, that will not happen. Now, you learning from hindsight, you should repeat the same thing. When we are talking about you are going back how? What you were yesterday, you can't aspire to be yesterday. You want to be future. So you see, keep going back and talking this day about Charlotte.
No. But
she's gone.
So,
we're looking forward.
You started. If we're looking forward, you mentioned Tokono. Tokono is gone.
No.
Why did you mention Tokono?
No, but
you brought this politics. You mentioned that. You talked about Tokono. So if we were to be going forward, you should not have brought Tokono in.
Because Tokono right now,
if she's gone.
No, she's in court. Protesting
she's
the matters.
She's gone.
That's the reason why you remove
is she the Chief Justice?
You are not interested in following. So here, I'm telling you, the person who removed her is President John Dramani Mahama.
President John Tokono is Mahama.
Hold on.
But this one is Bafubone.
Is Akufo-Addo still the president of this country? Can Akufo-Addo restore anything?
My brother.
But what Akufo-Addo's actions and inaction can help Ghana do today is for the president now to look at those things and be advised by them. So when you are making this backward analysis, it doesn't help.
It's not backward.
So, no, I'm not saying backward in terms of it's not to denigrate it. I'm saying that it's a yesterday argument you are making. We are moving forward, right? President Mahama is in office. If he wants to redeem himself, he can fix that situation because Madam Gertrude Tokono, former Chief Justice, is still in court protesting the basis for a removal.
She's wasting her time.
You can make right on that.
She's wasting her time.
You understand? Yes, of course, because you are determined to remove her, you have done it. So she's wasting her time trying to assert her rights. That's one I agree. You won't bring her today, you won't bring her tomorrow. But what you have done remains the worst thing anybody has done to our democracy to date in this Fourth Republic. That's a fact.
Why? Without elections, we don't have democracy. You removed the electoral commissioner. Without elections, there is no democracy.
I'm saying that's a yesterday argument.
Why? This one yesterday. I said the woman is also gone. And so that's why it's also yesterday's argument. So if you come to state it here,
well, the audience will make the judgment. when you have
honestly, my brother Richard knows very well that there's confidence in the Supreme Court now. There's confidence in our court system now, and they have even benefited from it.
Okay. All right.
They want would bring in Justice Bafubone. They won the case. They are the beneficiary. They won Pandai.
Look at the sad thing he's saying.
They won Pandai. You know what they took Kwesin through? Yachi Kwesin.
Look at the sad thing you are saying.
A man who actually have something to prove that he was, renouncing his Canadian citizenship. He has everything to prove. Yeah, you people took this old man left, right, made him. Oh my God! Anytime he goes to any court, he's thrown away. You did it. Eventually, you overturned the verdict, and he had to go for a by-election again.
Okay.
You understand? We will not do that. You people, you did things in this country, and yet you always think that we are not helping matters. We will not do things untoward.
We don't have.
We want our democracy to grow.
Gentlemen, we don't have all day. Let's keep to our time so that I don't get a petition removing me as the host of the show. So let's do this. So gentlemen, I want us to look at this. The cocoa politics won't go away, will it? There's always some kind of an update. So yesterday or so, Parliament had a very heated debate on this matter. You know, since it started, Parliament has been quiet. The minority has held about 2 press conferences. The majority has said nothing until, I guess, yesterday or 2 days ago when the majority started to talk. And it's been a very interesting debate in Parliament. So I want us to take it.
Majority has found their voice.
Well, it looks like. So we'll take a short break. When we come back,
look at that.
No, we have to. I'm told we have to take a break. My production team is on my neck. So let's take the break and then we'll come back shortly. Please stay with us.
No matter how many noises are made, the law is the law.
Politics seeking to create noise that drowns the real fact of the matter. The MP for Bodi, where he's arguing about inherited mess. What mess? What mess? Okay. So you say mess. Then what? What has that mess got to do with your pricing? This is a pricing matter. It doesn't matter. So it's like, they're arguing that if yesterday you went to the market, you traded and you made a loss, and you are going today, because you made a loss yesterday, today you can't make a gain. What's that? It has nothing to do with anything. They are just interested in obfuscating the matter, dumping a whole lot of things on it. And my brother will tell you, oh, yesterday was like this, and they'll be telling us about what is gone. What is gone? Going back to the graveyard to bring all the dead people to come and talk to. What is this about? You went to a market, you agreed on the price, the FOB, I think 7,000 or so, you have agreed, you determined a price, $5,040 to be paid to the farmers. They said, okay, I think this cocoa board thing is not a fair arrangement to begin with, because I have my farm, I farm my cocoa, and I turn around, I have to sell it to only you in a competitive world. It's almost an illegal situation, but yes, of course, the law has been passed to make it a monopoly. So if you make you create a monopoly and say, you, Moro, Good Morning Ghana is the only show that must run in the morning in Ghana. But then you are not giving us opportunity to come to the show. And we have to pass back and bribe you before we can come. That's an illegality. It's a monopoly, but you are abusing the monopoly. That's what Cocoa Board is doing. But we agree that it's a legal monopoly. Okay? Fine. We'll sell our cocoa bean to you. You have gone to bring us a price. We agree. We go to our farm on the basis of that price. The comfort that price gives us, even though we don't like it. But that's what we have. And we are going to work with that. And we have gone to farm our cocoa, making our calculations based on this. That 7 o'clock I have to be in your studio. Then when I come, you say, oh, you started a thing 6, so you have closed. So for me driving to my house, even though you have promised me 7, I've come here and so you started at 6 and you finish. So what it means is that you tricked me. You didn't really want me to be on the show, so you lied to me to come 7. When I'm here at 7, you finish at 6. That's what Cocoa Board has done with this reduction. That's the matter. It has nothing to do with what Akufo-Addo did, how tall Akufo-Addo is, how short it is, how successful his government was. It has nothing absolutely to do with that. It has everything to do with the decisions they have made. You see, now here comes the point. The decision Cocoa Board made, if it had worked out, fine. There would have been a gain. You see, this is where I want Cocoa Board to take responsibility. Say, look, we took a gamble that we wanted to sell at spot price, and we're bidding the prices to go up. But for some reason, it didn't go up. Farmers, we're sorry, we got it wrong. You can do that. You can say that. That's right. You can say it. And be remorseful about it. Next time, we'll be a bit more strategic. We didn't read the tea leaves well. Okay, we got it wrong. Everybody get it wrong all the time. You understand? So if you get it wrong on that spot, just admit. And then have a conversation with the cocoa farmers and say, look, now we have got it wrong. What can we do? If we had gained, perhaps some will filter for you to also benefit. But we have got it wrong. It is all in the spirit of trying to get the best outcome for Ghana. But we got it wrong. You can have this honest conversation. But they are refusing to have that honest conversation. And then they are talking about everything else except from what they have done wrong. That's why nobody can believe them. That's why nobody can side with them. That's why nobody has sympathy for them. Simple as that. So, when they sit in parliament, that's why I was asking, they have found their voices. If we really want to say, just talk about the issue and reduce it right here, this is the matter. You went and got a bad decision in the market. You got a wrong decision. Accept it. Look, I'll give you an example. In September, we started processing some gari for export, and then it got to a point where people said, okay, the farm people who are managing, they said, okay, well, we shouldn't sell now. We should, because the price at the time was 25 cedis to 25, 28 a bushel, and so therefore they wanted us to wait. Okay, it's their decision, and so we are waiting. Now we have to wait even longer because from that the price has come down. It's a decision. Okay, they tell me, oh boss, normally this is how it's supposed to be and it's supposed to go up, but we don't know what is happening this time because it's rained a lot, the rainy season has extended, a lot of people have uprooted, and so there's more supply, and so that's what it is. They explain it to me, but they can't tell me that, oh, it's because our neighbor is doing something, it's because the previous year we did something. No. They just got it wrong. It was well intentioned, but it went wrong. Accept that. That's where the matter is. That's where they have refused to. So all this matter they are talking, and the this and the that and the this is much ado about nothing. They just don't want to accept the mistake they have made. It would have worked out right if they got it right, but they've got it wrong. So accept it, admit, and say, look, we want to reduce the price so we can make up for what situation we have. And farmers will say no. And if they say no, they are justified in saying no, because they took comfort in what you have promised. So if your decision didn't go well, go find it. Too bad. But find the difference and pay. This has happened before. It's happened before. When we came to government, 2017, 2018 period, the prices went down, but we kept the price. You can do that. You see, you do that because, Moro, you have a monopoly that makes it so that all cocoa farmers will come and sell to you. So when your management decision goes wrong at some point, you take responsibility. You don't shift it to another person because they have not done anything. There are decisions they have to make to provide you cocoa bean, which you're going to sell to generate forex for Ghana. They have done their part. So why are you shortchanging them? Okay. That's why our call is to reinstate the amount. To reinstate the amount. Okay? The other bit of the issue that I think we should advocate in favor of Cocoa Board is the decision taken by the Bank of Ghana and Finance Minister. Okay, with the president acquiescing to it. Okay, coming to office and artificially trying to show off and say, oh, we'll show NPP because the currency was $14 to dollar, was 14 cedis, and so in the NPP, we're going to bring it down. Without thinking a bit longer about it to see the ramification of that on enterprises like Cocoa Board. Because Cocoa Board is an export company. Okay? That's an export enterprise. So with that export, once your currency strengthens, it weakens Cocoa Board's position. That's why you've heard Dr. Randy argue that, that Ghana's cocoa has become expensive. The simple reason why it become expensive is that our currency has strengthened. Whose fault is that? Is it Dr. Randy? No. It's Dr. Tuforson. It's the president who supervised cabinet to go along with this dumping in the forest market of in excess of $10 billion to strengthen the city artificially. Okay, the Bank of Ghana governor. Those three, they did that. And now it's affecting Cocoa Board. Okay, we are not the only producers of cocoa. But we produce a certain crop of cocoa that the world appreciates, but not at the detriment of their own business survival. Right. If it becomes expensive, it's expensive. They can't buy it. They move to other places. It's the rational thing to do. So what we have now is a self-inflicted problem. One, a trading decision gone bad, and the show-off effort to bring the city down, which didn't make any sense. Right. Well, this government said they are going to do 24-hour economy. If you do 24-hour economy, what are you going to produce? And what you are going to produce, where is the market for it? The president talks about accelerated export development authority or something of the sort that they want to implement. If you implement that and your currency is artificially strengthened, emphasis on artificial, right, because your currency can strengthen through trade, so that what you are earning is more than what you are spending. So therefore, demand for dollar from your end is minimal, and so therefore your currency strengthens by that design. But this one, it is not by trade. It is not by production that our currency strengthens. So it is like you waking up overnight and say, well, you can't come to work, and so therefore you put your producer there to host the show. Yes, he's been observing you, but he's not sat in that thing in the seat before. It takes him time to warm into that. But you say, oh no, today you have to do that. Yeah. Okay? It's a process. Okay. So if you just lift and drop somebody in the ocean, they haven't been in the ocean before, they will drown. So you just come and dump money and say and tell everybody, oh, voila, our CD is now strong against the dollar. It is not structural. It is not systematic. So it's a disruption. Okay. That has disrupted cocoa board's trade. All right. That has affected them on one hand. So when there's a call for Dr. Aradi to go, it must be linked, inherently linked to Dr. Atuforse's going. It must be linked to the going of the Bank of Ghana governor. It must be linked, unfortunately, to His Excellency. But of course, that we can argue. maybe Parliament. But the NDC has majority. So there must be a process in Parliament to impeach the president for doing that. If we must have this conversation further that Dr. Ahiagba must go, then all this group of people must go for it to make sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Otherwise, you are picking on one person because you think that you can sacrifice that person. Okay. But the problem we have here,
we have an hour for this conversation, and so we have 30 minutes for this. We've done 15 minutes, so I'll leave them with 15 minutes for Seydou.
Well,
no, give him 10. He can't do all.
Oh, how?
Yes. What else is going to talk about yesterday?
Well, yesterday is so important. That's why if there was no yesterday, there won't be tomorrow. There won't be today. What history is what I want to say is that this is Moro. I think the NPP should be very grateful to the NDC for trying so hard to clean their mess. You see, Moro, the NPP, their style of managing cocoa board itself was so problematic, to the extent that, Moro, I'll show you a video where Engineer Kobina Aje Japan, just the past flag bearer, one of the aspirants, took a bite on the former chief executive Joseph Boahene. I have the video here. He said, that was his 6th year as a chief executive. He said consistently, cocoa board has been incurring losses. Just take money and go and buy cocoa.
I've seen the video. That
you sit there and for 6 years, cocoa board has been incurring losses. What's his business there? He should be kicked out. You understand? So the NPP, they themselves, members of the NPP themselves, got to realize that the former chief executive was mismanaging cocoa board. And they called for his removal. They are party people. I'm not the one saying that. You understand? Moro, I want to ask my brother, how come that they lost the syndicated loan? How come that they couldn't get syndicated loan to purchase cocoa? And they did forward sale of cocoa to the tune of, you took money from your lenders, buyers, in advance. You did forward sale, 2023, 2024. You said you took money to the tune of, and said you were providing them with 760,000 tons of cocoa. You could not produce, you couldn't get all. You did short of 330,000 tons of cocoa. How did that occur? If it is not mismanagement, if it is not reckless, then what is this? This one, my brother said we shouldn't talk about it. My brother is saying we shouldn't talk about it. Moro, you mismanage the economy side that nobody, even in the international market, nobody wanted to lend or borrow Ghana money. Nobody. We're not credit worthy. Both locally. You remember even the commercial banks in Ghana, the local banks, they took so much money, loans from them, they couldn't pay. They couldn't pay. Syndicated loan, they couldn't get it. So they were compelled to do forward sale. They were selling in advance. Okay, the produce are still in the farms, but give me this amount of money so that I will give you 760,000 tons of cocoa. You couldn't, you took the money. All of that money, all of that decisions that you people took, what is it? Is it not mismanagement? It's mismanagement because you could not produce the cocoa to the people. So you owe. So these are debt. These are debt things that you bequeathed to the current administration. Now, President Mahama is saying that, look, let's take a radical decision. Let's revitalize the cocoa sector. Let's reorientate, because you can't be doing the same thing all the time and expect different results. We've been doing these same things all the time. So President Mahama is saying that, look, it's about time for us to refine our cocoa. Let's stop exporting raw cocoa. Even if we will export, but at least some 50-60% of cocoa should be refined in Ghana here. And I think it's a good call that my brother should support. You know one thing about President Mahama, for him, when he inherits a situation and there is, the last time when he came into government and there was Dumso, he took, serious decisions, policies to clear the energy sector levy. That's why we brought Esla at the time, and they benefited so much from it. It's the same thing President Mahama wants to do. You mess up the cocoa sector, he's saying that, look, let's reorganize the cocoa industry. Let's ensure that we establish factories that we can refine cocoa in this country. That is what we're living in as more foreign exchange than just, exporting it raw like that. What is that? So for me, if it is anybody who mismanaged Cocoa Board, who should have been sacked and wasn't sacked, it is the former chief executive, not Randy Abbey. Dr. Randy Abbey, for him, I think he's a problem solver. That's how I look at him. So he didn't want to come out and be complaining that this is the mess that NPP left and all of that. He just tried to solve problem. One of the mess was cocoa rows. Cocoa rows in their own budget. You see, my brother will laugh because if Cocoa Board did not mismanage their resources, Cocoa Board would have had enough money to purchase cocoa.
No.
At a good price. Don't say no. Don't say no. Don't say no. Why would you say no? Why? You think if Cocoa Board had money, they will not purchase, they won't give the farmers good money. They will give them good prices at the farm gate.
No.
You understand? Don't say no. What I'm trying to say is, listen. Moro.
The history is okay. That solves the problem of why you have reduced the price.
As for the price, I'm telling you why okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
When you did the forward sale and couldn't provide the beans to the people you took the money from, that balance of beans, is it not a mess?
No.
Was it not a mess?
That's not the first time. It's been happening.
So what has been happening? When did that happen? Tell me when did that happen? It only happened under your watch.
We inherited that.
It happened under your watch.
Moro, because he said that. Read Reuters. Okay.
Moro.
Read Reuters. No, come on. Let me help you.
So let me finish. Let me finish. Then you come. Let me finish. Then you come. Let me finish. So Moro. So you see, Randy he's a problem solver. So he decided that, look, don't come to be complaining about the problems in Cocoa Board. Let me find a way to deal with the problem. Then the NPP, somebody is clearing your mess, and are calling on his head. You are calling for his head. You understand? That is
Cocoa Board, when they came in.
That is dishonesty on your part.
No, I'm coming.
NPP,
When they came,
you are the least. You see, you shouldn't
When
be
they
the
came-
people.
when they
You listen. You should not be the people to be calling for the head of the Kerem Cocoa Board chief executive, because
That's okay.
the truth of the matter is that you know, my brother Richie knows that you
Yeah.
didn't manage Cocoa Board well.
It's
you
not
know.
true.
Your own party people.
No problem.
I've given you an example. I say your own party people said that for consecutive 6 years,
Moro.
Cocoa Board
This
is
is-
being carrying
this is
losses.
March 29, 2017.
Oh, don't
Reuters.
interrupt. Don't
Right.
interrupt.
No, no.
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Moro. Another. So for me, let me upload Cocoa Board. And one of the novelty they've done too is that Moro, Cocoa Board, honestly, if you look at how it's been managed, is also overstaffed.
The price you have reduced.
I am coming.
What has that got to do with it?
What are you talking about?
The price you
Yeah, but if you-
reduce the price. That's what we are talking. You have
Richard.
to answer that question.
Richard.
Has Kojo Chumbafo tested you?
Richard.
Yes.
He has.
Richard.
He hasn't checked his forehead. He's
Richard. Richard. No. What I want you to know is that, listen, Richard, don't go there. You listen.
your compatriot
Don't be that wasting. I just want you want my time to go.
No problem.
You see, what I want you to know is that let me also comment Cocoa Board, the chief executive, the senior management for taking a cut of 20% and then senior staff 10%. And I am told that it will save Cocoa Board some 5 million Ghana cedis every month.
That I can tell you, that excites Richard a lot.
This is something that they never did. You see, Moro, one thing about Cocoa Board, that if you know Cocoa Board, their staffing situation.
Forget
If the staff of Cocoa Board are 10,000, I can tell you 8,500 are senior management or senior staff. That is the problem of Cocoa Board. So you see people as young, less than some even at 35, they are directors, and it comes with so much perks. You understand? It comes with so much perks. I have friends. Oh, what are you talking about? If you mismanage an institution,
So
it
that's
will
why you
affect
reduce the
prices.
price.
It will affect prices.
That's why you reduce the price.
Why won't it not affect prices?
That's why you reduce
it
the
will
price.
affect prices.
No,
You
you don't
don't
know why
know.
you reduce it.
Why? Why won't it affect prices? They won't.
It won't affect it.
Why won't it affect
Because
prices?
the price in question is a 2024, a 2025, 2026 pricing. You had given the price already. What has happened is the world market price of cocoa
Yeah, it fell.
dropped.
It fell, yes.
And you see, hold on,
Yes.
you lock in the price to the cocoa farmer. You lock in the price. And they have gone to produce based on that. Okay, like you this morning,
I understand.
when you woke up from your house,
I understand
and you
very
were
well.
dressing this way to come. And you come and Moro comes to tell you, meet you at the entrance and say, Good Morning Ghana is cancelled for today. But they didn't tell you. On the basis that you are having Good Morning Ghana today, you have come. But then they cancel the thing without telling you. Are you that you are supposed to know or yesterday we canceled it, so you should
Why?
know
But
that
if the circumstances of Metro TV, cannot let them have the program, they will cancel it.
Cocoa Board made a wrong trading decision. That's the matter. Focus on that one. And that decision went bad. And so therefore, the price they anticipated, they want to pay, the price has dropped.
Yes.
So if that is the problem, admit it. Admit it. Simple. Say that we have made a mistake, miscalculation. So we got it wrong. Forgive us. Period.
We haven't made any mistake. The price dropped.
That is why the farmer will not forgive you because
no, don't say that. The farmers know very well. Don't say that. You are not.
Do you know as we
don't say that.
Demonstrating?
Don't say that. It doesn't matter because you are the people misinforming them.
You are not helping Cocoa Board this morning.
Don't say that I'm not helping Cocoa Board.
Even more mess.
No, I'm not creating any mess. I'm not creating any mess. The Cocoa Board, the cocoa farmer knows. The cocoa farmer knows very well that you people mismanage Cocoa Board. They know that very well.
Okay.
So they are not surprised that we are in this mess. If the international prices fell, if the prices fell, we have to be honest with the people by giving them the price that government can pay.
Now you have to be fair. You are donating our time. You see, this you are doing the Cocoa Board thing. You promised us we are coming here. What's the time on our flyer? Okay, what the time do you put on our flyer? You said we close at 10, and then you have come a bit.
But you announced that we close at 9:30.
Yeah, no, but the time on the flyer they gave us is 10. So when you have negotiated with us to close early, you don't force it. Just like what Cocoa Board did, you cut people's prices and force them to accept it. Okay. When we are talking, you bring Honorable Dapla to come here and argue against their interests. You understand?
Who said I'm arguing against their interest?
That's what you have done. So give us one more minute. Let me explain something to my brother. I am the one person I will defend Dr. Randy any day.
I know he's a very good friend.
Okay, yeah. So and that's the point we are making, that it's a decision gone wrong. I mean, people get things wrong.
Okay.
When things go wrong, accept it.
Okay.
It is not a question of competence or incompetence.
Okay.
The decision they made could have given us a payoff.
Okay.
If we had kept the prices were stable.
All right.
Okay, but when we get it wrong, let's admit it.
Okay.
Okay, history can guide them, and I believe that when it came to DDP, the approach to it, the information, how we ought to have engaged people, we didn't. Okay. They should have learned from that.
Okay.
To say that, look, farmers, we got it wrong. Come around the table. Let's see how we can fix this.
Richard, let me do this. Eugene Gandambi, it says that good morning, Metro TV and Mr. Audu. Please extend my regards to Honorable Kletu Seidu. I'm puzzled by Mr. Richard Ahiagba's claims. His boss, Ekufuado, got faceless people to make false accusations against Mami Charlotte, leading to a removal. Though some of us aren't happy with the outcome of the petitions, we know democracy has won. That's from Eugene. It says under JM, we're witnessing democratic rules. This one from JC Buakun, political marketing expert. It says the most difficult work now is being an NDC communicator. You go explain Taya. The most annoying aspect is the level of arrogance they even talk to Ghanaians and especially cocoa farmers. In political communication, as a marketing expert, you don't calm people down with high pitch and high pitched tone. Their posture and utterance is rather getting cocoa farmers angry. Now, Samako Kelly says, good morning, Moro. As CJ says, the deliberate treatment meted out to the people of Sal and the huge level of incompetence displayed by Madam Jean Mensah and her deputies doesn't meet the threshold for dismissal from office. One wants another person to do same, and even worse in the future. It's important for each and every one of us to be mindful of what posterity holds for actions and inactions. And finally, Mansa Musa says that please tell Richard Ahiagba, my good friend, that he's one of the worst contributions since the TV3 debacle, when he couldn't point a single infrastructure built by NPP in his home constituency. Gold has been used to stabilize the currency and to that extent shore up the economy. That's Mansa Musa. And then this one, Kofi Apanu. Oh, so your very good friend, Kojo Chumbuafu. Let me just read Kojo Chumbuafu's thing and then we can...
tell Kojo that we are no longer friends.
So Kojo Chumbuafu says that, good one, Mura, I don't understand why the NPP and their assigns fail exams. Kindly tell Richard the topic was about the petitions that were sent to the president.
So send me di kankai and Intuitia. Every submission from Richard Ahiagba shows clearly so on serious. Every submission from Richard Ahiagba shows clearly so on serious. He's not serious. We heard the way we see a pusher na okasa, the way we see dim komona. It tells you Richard Ahiagba is one of the non-serious NPP communicators, but this man yet to be the what? And I say still he's the what? The director of communications at the NPP. You see, Abasi Abema party no. They be an hoarding. These are the people who are Omu Akufado. Omambo Akufado no. These are the people. Akufado numa papa kakra ye no. Numa papa kakra. Our ye OCC when this straight when this thing and now OCC. These are the people. They couldn't help him. A month men defend it. And a war on him sa. Young Koti list over and a kusipoko to Akasa. Wachena dream as usual controversial man. Need some more can sue. Is it then a mammy electoral commissioner? Jemin said declare more than 2 times. Nastona she sits at the electoral commissioner. Hey, Sassi more remo, but Nina Muno, the organ I effect, the any say F.R.D. Yenti list over and a kusipoko in some of the tuga. Oh. TVSYZ broke up him insights politics Dumadina eso na ekoba na edi Dumadino de etwaso e de amount fefe mesro so be subscribe na do comment betum na wa like this very video na wa share na foforo enyi biahwe ekoba na ka bia no mega betwaso
Wednesday fuguno say waji ambassador na boso a oya ho hwe a enye ene waboblu pa ana shiny wom Neboku Aquava. Now what to say? Wife. Fugunu dear, one more produce in Nepoku. And here's a branch.
Akonya will show back here. menua Yakubu honor the chair me
honor the chair
na medene we ko to Facebook and osi sales a why no
min sebu
ama say fugu no say ya short
wow
enti say kura no se ne na homa o de pam fugu nyina
asa ahoma nsia so mo krafi China
kra enti me de akonya we be fa so na me de ato aban nim say se kwan bi wa ha e betimi ne because now your textile industry no
yes
yeah revival and kakra
yes
kai say at the time na me ye Alencha Martin aid no now it was one of the industries and na any ko papa
okay
enti mesra ban say if there is a way to revive the textile industry a betimi aboa maya yetimi aye ahoma na sebi omode anwe
okay no we not one man on so kakra dia ma he o microphone he
to me so
very well
aboama your friends textile industry no aye kra be hwa e be boa
okay
because if we said Mahama e koda fugu na di wo yenuanum kromo no ama asese no fugu die kameyare sem minya bi kra kam de be pam pajamas ama say me chef fugu
say I say enye Wednesday em say Monday ni Tuesday say dey bia wo
say Monday ni Tuesday no enso so no on say ye make sure say ye entire na bibia be meninga
yes
nti enye fugu fo nko na say
omo ba be didi
the show say kama
okay yeah
Tuesday na Monday be boa
be kama
that Wednesday fugu ni de we say ye kwa e be gino tax for not wearing because it was say you advertising fugu on Wednesdays
sure
na Thursdays Fridays tie na na ye bobo boni nyina no Ghana for ye tie I was see it me patronizing made in Ghana ties
okay
flying ties bow
ties
yeah I think say by far no say ye patronize ya e be boa yen
okay
e be ma sebi omo pamade ni omo ye sa insano nyuma ne so no omo so
omadwuma na koso say the Yakubu say o san kwan
Yakubu say
na mi ntia Yakubu this me chair
obeje so na
nam
enso nam
Yakubu ye ja wire de dem ku yanko yensem no so
enne
yes bitio
ma many kind and chief for chahwefo
okay
mominu ane wo so abaso
yes
me ma muni ha na my adwuma no
yes
e ka kra bi nka me yasan but e chi na me dwen say no ma me ko me ra ho kakra but my ho no so no mintimi I can't blow against the wind
okay
I mean for example Mr. Tiefree there be a disappointment the one
okay
I'm disappointed I must be candid.
Wow
yes very disappointed because for example obi anyone mo betimi a kirem say electoral commissioner J Mensa or in the interest of this country unless of course
would
be anywhere in the interest of the country. So I'm very sad to the extent that the Chief Justice's verdict cannot be but abided to or by. No, I can't blow against the wind, but I'm disappointed.
I didn't see her. I know why you disappointed, baby, sir.
I'll use only two scenarios. And then advise Minion NDC for not to throw their hands up in despair.
Okay.
Because Ebiana Yankopon enim ekwa or kwamai. The kind. Obi eni obetimi a kire me say by that Supreme Court behavior of not letting a public officer answerable and accountable to the Ghanaian a behavior e was here so obieni obetimi not in this world can anyone explain.
So Supreme Court ama ho kwan ama
eni yeboa
yes
presiding the court yeah a leading to say eni kwan say J Mensa eba betiremu die ntia abatoɔ course in 2020 no sɛ Supreme Court judge bi enim de kyɛ wiase ha nipa biara ɔmɛkyerɛm de ntia because benima de kuro ntia
amra bia ni ho a esi sade na no kwan.
Yes, there is no law. There is no even statute bia ni ho. Yeah, it says a wiase we mu public servant in the capacity as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission are only the only returning officer of a presidential election. Only obetimi enya tumi bi say ono waye ne election awie entonim kyerɛkyerɛmu bia no samra no me pese omun kotu nkyerɛ me ɛwɔ ha ewiase we mu enye Ghana mra internationally everywhere wo de Burkina kramra o me kan kyerɛ ye to so biem emra bɛn na wo wiase mu a ɛkyerɛ sɛ sɛ obi ɛyɛ incompetent ɛwɔ na dwuma a ɔyɛ mu examples here many countless examples. For example, how can an electoral commissioner declare more than one results? Maybe I mean can the 8 results no more than one results. Now self behavior no enter competence of that office holder. How can that one not be a reason or a basis for a prima facie case? How can that only not be a reason or cannot amount to getting a prima facie case?
So you have to obey.
For example,
yes,
me a referee.
Yes,
me di kotoko ne house. Ya kotoko fo egu mani ma ase na no a. Ama na se nche se me fufu ase. Kotoko fo na ohne kai ohne bodi ama muso. Se mu di kotoko mu na mu egu mani mu ase ya ye kotoko fo. Tini di
ebefa.
Yada akra. Team na see egu ni ete. Omo high adwe. For me a referee dra kotoko ne house. Not with even my biases towards Kotoko.
Kotoko no.
In favor of Kotoko against Has.
Yes.
Which of course Has for also chapter half for omo ne me nya adwe ba kokra. Meti omo nyina, ma me no nyina, meti omo nyina. Na me say Kotoko ashe Has till by 2 goes to nil.
Yes.
I say amen. Na Kotoko ashe Has no 2 goes to nil no. No ya say the microphone be see many ma me say oh almost 3 goes to nil. Me say we am so oh there be Kotoko ashe 3-1. Has 3-1.
Okay.
Na me say tiwa me say there be ba ko no kura say na e foul man enti e he I don't know kura no he my G penalty akwa go enti 4-1. One referee. I mean, if the Supreme Court or the Chief Justice wants to tell us that being highly incompetent as this
Ayoka,
it's not something that can amount to finding a prima facie case against the Electoral Commissioner, then they should let us know, because it means that you're a public servant now, Juma, you can do what you like. When some of these things, I'm very much sure and clear in my mind, can lead to a national chaos, a point of no return. Sure, the American same way say, Yame our bo Ghana no, any emunipa Ghana for no, and you say Yame in a ball if we are safe for Ghana ni be different. Yakuma I die yem. Maybe Nkrumah may have contributed immensely towards our national cohesion, unity, and even unity in diversity. Nkrumah may have contributed so much, because Obia Wako boarding house Obia can attest to why it's difficult for even political parties to punish their fellow political parties.
Okay.
For example, the difficulty the NDC has today in punishing the NPP wrongdoers or criminals is because of that which is on the negative aspect. But the positives need to say, because we intermingled on campus or campuses, we've intermarried. Eti obi hu ni nua se enye ni nua. Obi hu sabi akani hu sremuni a oye ni nua. Sremuni hu akani a oye ni nua. Ohi agbeni a oye ni nua. Enu ana agbeni so hu ni nua sremuni a onim se ni nua. Enti no, because of boarding housing na nkroma introduce you and yes. Abuama say no are difficult for sometimes even ye koya de ye periperi on kra no edin aboa so e wo kwa bi so say ama ya do ye ho say eni kwan say ye gina abato keke so e di create sabi oyeni enye sa enko ma winki em fa ne say de na nke ye hwe no kene enke enti ha hwe ma ko so techima south Emma Akwai Martin Ebeye MP. How many lives did we not lose in that election? Kwabule Kuma. His memory is still fresh in my mind. We met just once, and right after, I think about a week or two, and not 2 weeks, about 10 days after, he died. Very young, handsome gentleman. So, if these things,
I say we better a drive you crano, Garaphobia so case, so we sala, Sun Trophy,
it's a serious subject matter.
Yes,
I was only using just two scenarios. You can get a litany of them.
Yes,
a litany of them.
For 4 years,
what must I say?
They were denied a member of parliament.
I'm beginning to think, say, it's possible the petitioners did not write
those things.
Yes, it's possible.
Apart from science, semia, okay,
maybe
neighborhood, and some baby on a bit me, and kebet me ama
you see, I so much have a certain trust that the petitioners intentionally did something. NPP can go behind petitioners to write to. They can just go behind petitioners to write anything.
To create that impression, say there's something going on. So
that they will just write nonsense, and once the president is a conveyor belt, he also convey nonsense to the Chief Justice, who will also convey that same thing onto us as a people. NPP can easily. So
there are procurement issues no much
what is
procurement.
So maybe there, I want to still believe, say, all is not lost.
Yeah.
What must I say? When you first see a chair, ne muye a snake as a baboon in our day.
Maybe sir, I can see myself now. Do you think sir, we are talking about the Chief Justice? Our president edit petitions. I can in Sadiamano. So new justice for Bafu Bonnie. Meaning so only cry.
Oh, I mean, Sebi.
Yes.
I followed him for years.
Okay.
And it's difficult for me to just go on that tangent. If Tokonu and so decided we are I would have gone straight to tell say she has not made any sense. But if you know the revered Justice Bafuboni,
yes,
you have a different opinion and conclude, or you are likely to conclude like I have concluded, say the petitioners may not have done a good job, which of course, if petitioners have not done a good job, it's difficult for the Chief Justice and his team to, come across any prima facie.
Yansha opening bit say lawyer Martin people.
Yes.
Or can petitioners in home. Looking at his caliber, and many not all petitioners didn't see the ECR.
Yes.
Do you think sir it can go wrong?
Those are the things that I'll find difficult to answer. For example, meaning Martin Papa. Obi oni Martin him how meticulous
he is
and diligent.
Yes.
So what kind Martin script? Fantastic.
Okay.
But you see, I'm still confused and I'm down What must say? You know this is not my style.
Yeah, and then me share body.
The news came to me with a heartbreaking mood of a sort. I just had a sigh and felt maybe the petitioners didn't do the
What was your expectation?
My expectation is of all the averments of the petitioners. Anya baako pebi die. Because sabi Chief Justice here who says here say never say obi ntro petition chia entia his worship. Anya baby die obetosi oyenipa.
Okay.
President says here we say yenyina bibi so enfa impeaching na ye betimi anya bi back vote na wunya. What you say?
Okay.
Say President oyenipa ultimate nka say ne hu son sabrobe eni wiase there be oyenipa ebi dey making unless a constitution enim say the incompetence of an electoral commission etimi ye one of the basis for her removal.
Okay.
So then I think say then we have to rewrite the constitution. What I say?
Yeah, okay.
But this example that I've given, I'm just not being that emotional discussant that will say, oh, and NDC when Danish, it's far from that, because you see, I've come across a president who thinks building the nation is more important than conflicting ourselves.
Okay.
That's how I've come across the person Mahama.
Okay.
What do I say?
Okay.
I understand him, and I think that's his style. He's a father for all. He cannot change. He said he had ostracized that from himself, but he cannot change. Any buying or yes or sebi previous or befi kura sebi that's one yem.
Okay.
What I say?
Okay.
We want means son. However, I cannot still believe say the Chief Justice, if the petitioners did well, has done well to himself, his integrity, and to this country
by not being able to establish a prima facie.
Yes. That one, I stand by it. And I still cannot also believe, say, the petitioners did a good job, but the Chief Justice has not done a good job. So that's where the confusion comes. Because you can look at his track record as Chief Justice. Sebi, even as a Justice of the Supreme Court, down to the, you can account of him as Obia, or hardworking, diligent, and all that. All those attributes you can account about him. Until the day say we betimi conclude say onindini nyansani pa bafoboni etimi ahweje mensa asemu a wantimi anya entansa bi amfa mono eden. But because say ni sune ne ban ne caliber of how his diligence, especially at work, is no. And also by the parents who bet me conclude say petitioners ne so atro petition papa.
Obra Martin Pego kan. Akonya beda ho say okay, you betimi asan the petition bi wasen yakọ.
Akonya de ho da bia.
Enti
da bi o. Enye say e ko ye e o.
Yes, obi abetimi asan.
Ade abetimi me ato abakura betimi atro petition.
Who sa plan say one kasa obetimi obetro bi
in fact
akoma mampani
me ka se ma kire wo na de ntia memi obi but na me nye willing say me present me petition to the president on one basis.
Okay.
Brofo kasa bi say you can beat them on their own game or at their own game.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes it's even better we leave it at that. And make sure the NPP stays in opposition for as long as we want. With their own referee, calling elections and NPP moves him where they cannot have any qualm.
NPP for referee why
AJ Mensa. Some catch us say yakoto ababa kono catch us say Akufo do no pa onye referee obelusu
2024 about
2020
okay.
Yes.
So Orini.
Oh, there be okaso Orini ya one kan okre.
Ono di o man.
Ni ya bua na say why we need election wo Ghana Akufo do na sen. Omi ama sen. No the be mampani. Supreme Court could not even tell how many votes Akufo do garnered to become president
in
2020. So he forced himself down the throat of the public to become president.
So 2020 now.
That is the only reason why John Mahama went to court to, first of all, let an accountability be done. Because so what's some moment here? You must account to the people. How you came about the figure or the winning of the election by Akufo-Addo.
Nebo ko mo court the court say Akufo-Addo edi nkunim.
Court no can say Akufo-Addo edi nkunim. No court no couldn't tell how many votes Akufo-Addo got to become president. That is why a free sada no eni yebo aminya na asem kada. Because oye one of the base of the progress of the democracy of this country. Yes. As a former Chief Justice, that's what if you did more than any appear number framing and other than there be any yebu because it is written in the history say he made us the second Akufo-Addo term without Akufo-Addo having no reason to be called the president of Ghana. Yes, that is a fact. Supreme Court beka say Akufo-Addo are winning no. Okasi onyama sen. Wanka. Then the proper thing to do is say, me say kotokwa say 2 has a nail. What frame me no abegina
and house
asem na court. House I say 2 dent means. Ebi si biem entiwo yan ka ne ekoya ni mu. Oh ebi ntimi si biem. What you say? Okay. Now you dey asem na down court. Now you say okay referee. Who now do game no? When she say referee, but say a quiet false man way by now me yabo say I right. What are you talking about? Are the only crew name you see happen watch? We brown serve your public office. Yes, and then the only crew person come on here petie. The here petie no. The office now occupy na your public office no. And yes, we mebu hun konta. And adwuma okoye ye no yes, we mebu hun konta. Enti look, historically any yebu adi be ko enkola be kan say when na ye chief justice na penso ye di petition ko ya wodane ne nkwanta ma Akufo-Addo be ya mampani wa bra ne yenima ba wo nyaye. Yes,
that is not a good history.
Enso waje wodi ko fie na say wo obi papa he say wo matie o na obi so papa timi bedada wo ma wo se dia adamudio se dia na unya ye o a utimi kan se Akufo-Addo ye mampani wa bra woni ma ba wo nya ye no na efataw edi we na bi ko fie ko ma ba be kan enu ti na da bia me ka se wo sun a obi du ko school papa du ko school na Akufo-Addo papa we na Akufo-Addo wo we tu papa du ko school no record nya ni se wo ba be wie wadwuma wo de so mo man no wo record ni se utimi be kan ye eye pronouncement se Akufo-Addo ye mampani wa bra woni ma ba wo nya ye. What you say? Ana ora mampani ya woti ho
they go 2 minutes near the no see patron.
O mampani woti ho see.
Yes.
He's on tape. I think 2 or 3 tapes.
Woni maybe a yisi na ye ho.
Criticizing the quality of service of the current electoral commissioner. Into Omampeni also saying because also can be a petitioner. Nobody has ever raised this issue. Can he petition to himself and then wire the petition to
the Chief Justice?
Because he has petitioned already in public about the ills of Mami Jane Adukwe na mentimi anka the papacy they send me say Adukwe. Okay.
Okay.
Mensa.
Okay.
What you say? So maybe I think say I've always said time is the mightiest judge. I don't believe in the human judge.
Okay.
I don't believe in the human judge.
Sure.
Because say judge for Ghana how much judge dem dey bebre ebuaten yehu bi da. I just na some more example. There are so many of them. Wasem the krana unisika. Yes unisika wasem so. Ana means so nim so say I can say same of this current Chief Justice.
Okay.
That I can say.
Okay.
Because sebi previous. I'm also that from papa. Me ni ma judge for bebre. What they can say of any Yeboah, they can say same of Poba Fuboni. They are friends.
Very well.
And I'll end by saying, say, NDC, Mama Bamumu. A kubi over any nipa con. A kubi over a yame con. Don't be despaired. Don't throw your hands up in despair.
Okay.
Because you see, say ye man said ne. Pakofa Yankopon and also Surabafo crab Abetan say on the electoral commission and then election not NPP for 1 week. They will say things that will amount to discrediting the election. Say I can't say almost yes.
Okay.
Na yam fa ye re nse Nyankopon mu.
Okay.
Na Nyankopon ye se uni mu ntokwa ko.
Nyame ko bi ma. Me da ase. List o na kusipoko.
Ewe abusia enti nkomo no eno no. Enkomo no eno no. Enkomo no eno no. Na me dwen ho amenti ase. You see John Mahama ba obai. Ami se papa no. Obi awa ni boni bi odi ache no. Because let me tell you one thing. The day na Mami Jemensa or declare elections in the plan. Or can about 4 million demand bomiano. And or can 6,000 a demand John Mahama and say Chilobaka say sorry, 6 million. How can somebody who wins election, presidential election, nani pani benya 6,000 amadi olusu yenenya 4 million. But Jemensa literally did that. And after so reading you know, declaration paper you know, and now testing we and declaration kind of saying final results you know. She intentionally says it is finished. She said they were we into Oseako Akoda. It is finished. NDC for Asakeno. It is finished. NDC for Wabaidi Unyadaje Obetnefi. And the moon when you mad it all. Jemensa, and the one when him. I've been in a demutirimu. Say John Mahama ba. Oba Pam easy for Nina. One say Nabuaka Musim. The Diabom Coco. And him said John Mahama Diabom Coco. Mamu made the right thing in the next election. And we surely know NDC is going to win the next election. This is not a prophecy. And Mobiango can say Prophet Biashan concern NDC be win the next election. Hey, it is not a prophecy. This is a raw idea that NDC is surely going to win the next election. They are going to win the next election. What in a mature on us? It's memo beyond that out. Memo NPP ni beyond that out. Enti saadie we ni amagana fu suru pa omoka ho asem pa eye se kwan a Jemensa fa so esi declare election 2020 na Ghana fu suru se hwe ya maami aka hoyi na se maami wo ka hoyi na wasan akoye the same in 2028 no Ghana for munya hotoso munya rihemu. Jemensa has no room. Jemensa and her people, they have no room to misbehave at the electoral commission since NDC is in power. Since NDC is in power, Jemensa and his accomplices, accompanies, and I can say, Jemensa and his what and her people, they can never cheat in any election under the jurisdiction of John Mahama, and as under the what? The instruction. You see, one thing I was saying here when he said 2024, send an NPP for no motive so. I don't know more attempt to win to me because NDC they were what? Vigilant. So if they carry the same vigilantism and as a vigilance, we read the cohort, it is automatically going to give them a good resource. But more behave carelessness. So mum fa home. Any don't bury near. It means some besan their shop. I'm telling you, Abuano on kawa finishing chiro. Abuano on kawa. There is no way Obebi in a room at their chiro. But because of so be counting, Humwa Obebi in a room at their chiro. And Jamensa and in them crop for. They are there once again to manipulate election for NPP. But because of NDC, Muya Vigilanta, such thing will not happen. Such thing can never happen. Chirawaju or comment section, media so a mega Yanko Ponka na Uishra Papa and Abribiam supporter with the my or platform way as well. Abusia Hanum a number one authentic platform. But Mr. Wada, Unyan subscribe ya ehia subscribe. I say the Bia Jatu Husu 247 mega news in drop pay. I'm the baby sumo live show now. Moya na nyamunya na mutumuhe. Bayan so ye kati baby hiano. Baby a conversation here hot. Necessary. Na me better platform way so now to be a share. What you say? Inti anya say bia me depi. Enkomun baby hiano. Say life ni de moye baby hiano. Baby a wase musu muti bino. Na me diaba na musu muni bieti. That is it. Chirawadwen makraw. Bye bye.